There will probably be a few more people joining us, but let's get started. And does anybody, let me just say the format for today very briefly. I think we'll go very brief introductions, so Anne has an idea who we are and why we're here. And please do keep them brief. And when Anne is done, then we'll have an open chat session, anything you care to share, anything you'd like to talk about with the group, on topic or other topics, and any announcements you may have, open to them then. Okay, so let's do a go around, and I'll read your names based on where I see you in my gallery view. So we'll start with Mona, just a brief introduction. So Anne we all know who we are, and Anne has some idea what kind of crowd we are.
So I'm Mona Baker, and I'm an actionomics movement therapist, and I help dancers who are struggling with injuries to have with the longevity of their career. I also help everyday people who are struggling with pain. So that's the area that my business and my expertise assists.
Okay, thank you. And Joan Hurd?
I am a certified retirement options coach. So I help people who hopefully several years before they retire think about different things, not financial so much as 4 or 5 other things that they should be thinking about. And because I was 30 years as an outplacement career transition coach, most of the people that I do work with want to have some kind of a stream of income. So I can help them with start a business or buy a franchise or get another kind of a job. So that's my background, outplacement and retirement coaching.
Thank you. And Nina?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nina Schmidt. I work for USF as an instructor of finance and real estate. I've been a member of this organization for a couple of years now. I really enjoy it. I learned so much because to me, coaching and teaching really go hand in hand. So thank you for everyone for helping me to become a better teacher.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Phyllis Muffson?
Hi, Anne. It's really nice to actually see you live.
Thank you.
Because we've been corresponding. I'm a certified coach and RIM practitioner, and I work with the people who just dread Monday mornings. I help them figure out what they really want to do and then make the transition.
And your sound was a little, it blipped a little bit. So I just want to, I just want to say that you are a RIM, R-I-M practitioner, so people know what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
Emotional, get unstuck emotionally and get healed.
Great. Okay. And Valerie?
Hi there, I'm Valerie Chalet, and I am a money coach and mentor. And I work with working women who want to achieve financial independence and success in a way that does not crush their soul.
I love it. Excellent. And Christine Hannafin?
Hi, I'm Chris Hannafin. I'm a nationally certified coach too, however, and I have a long career in helping people find work what they love, but my passion for the last 20 years has especially been helping people. I'm a psychotherapist, licensed professional counselor, helping people with fears, phobias, anxiety, depression, holistically with the method called the neuro-emotional technique, which actually has brain imaging to prove its effectiveness in short order. It's
not
wonderful.
That there's been any potential stimulus for your dealing with phobias and fears in the last year and a half.
Yeah, OCDs and etc.
Thank you. And Robin, is it Didelot?
Yes. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Good.
I came out a little bit late. I guess thank you for introducing ourselves. I'm Robin Didlow, and I'm a certified business coach consultant through Ever Coach with Mind Valley. And I work with business owners, entrepreneurs, more on the mindset and helping them with their marketing and branding. and just launched into helping them with creating mobile apps to help them grow their business. So
Wonderful, thank you. And Rita Adrians, am I saying your last name right?
Hi, I was a performer in schools for 35 years. I did a live show for early childhood, and because of the pandemic, I had to stop. And I created a virtual, I never had to market myself because it was all word of mouth, and that's how I operated. And I recently, after a year of hell, Joan, I and created this virtual show, this online live virtual show, and I did a test run in the last month, and it was very, very successful. So I just joined Meetup #1, and I was looking for a life coach. I'm not a life coach, but I'm not a market person, and I'm not comfortable doing that because I never had to. And it's a new format, and trying to tell people like this is really great. So I'm interested in being in this meeting for 2 reasons. One is because it's a meetup thing, and two, I spoke to a couple of life coaches, and quite honestly, I was not impressed. I found them condescending and talking to me like they didn't understand. I was in business for 35 years. I can't have somebody talking to me like I'm stupid. So like, oh, well, I'll call you the first time, but then you have to call me every other time to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Otherwise I'll reprimand you. And so anyway, when I just joined Meetup and I saw this, and I said, I'm just interested in hearing others, ideas about coaches. I am possibly interested in having a coach who understands my situation.
Great. Well, you'll be reassured to know that as far as I know, we don't have any coaches like that in our membership in any way, shape, or form.
Hopefully not.
Okay, and a couple of new people have joined us. Jane Barr, I'll get to you in just a moment, just to let Gail and Wilma know that we're just introducing each other, asking why you're here. Welcome. Just a wee little bit about you and what you're looking for out of the meeting. So let's go back to Jane Barr, who's been waiting patiently.
No, that's good. It's nice to see everybody. It's been a long time. I am an executive coach. I work primarily with women leaders in technology when they have hit a wall in their career, which often happens around, can happen in the 30s, but more likely in their late 40s, early 50s, and help them to re-engineer their career and put it back on track.
Great, thank you. And Gail Sussman-Miller?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome.
I actually checked the group out when I first moved here, and today is actually 2 years since I moved to Sarasota from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And during COVID, you weren't meeting, and so I just kind of, everything got put on hold. So I'm glad to be back, and I thank Christine for inviting me. So I work with stressed women leaders and help them reimagine the way they think and work so they can be fully self-expressed in their work, achieve well-being and career joy.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm glad you found us again.
Yeah.
We've been hanging out in the virtual world, but I'm glad you're with us.
Yeah.
And so Wilma Figueroa?
Yes, hi everybody. I'm driving, so I'm gonna be a little bit quick here. I am a personal development coach, and I used to be with you guys about 3 or 4 years ago, which I was really actually starting out. But I just thought I just needed to reconnect with and surround myself with more like-minded coaches. So I'm just going to jump back into it.
Great. Well, welcome. I think I've covered. Did I miss anyone? I think I've gotten everyone. Deb Mazzaferro, the awesome Deb. How did I miss you?
Because I'm perpetually here. I'm Deb Mazzaferro. I do coaching and consulting for specialty food companies, and I'm a Gestalt trained coach. Last year was a little bit quiet, but I have to say that there's been quite a resurgence of interest in my field this year. So
Right.
passing that on.
I'm sure you're hearing the word supply chain, supply chain, supply chain.
I mean, it's more about people wanting to invest in their business again and, wanting some help on what their next steps should be for growth. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think I've gotten everybody. So I'm Leslie Austin, who, okay. I'm Leslie Austin, and I'm an executive coach. I too had never marketed myself in any way until last year, and I've been online and revived my coaching business, which I had purposely quieted down for a few years. And I'm having a really good time. My brand for many years was the Lion Tamer. I deal with very senior executives who are very narcissistic. They're the people that companies want to keep because they make so much money, but they want to get rid of because they're so vicious to other people and on the edge of being a walking lawsuit, or the people who have to live or work with them. So that's where the Lion Tamer nickname came from. A client gave that to me. And I've expanded in the last year into emotional mastery, which is more than narcissism, but really just how to deal with difficult people, difficult relationships, and not only survive, but thrive. And so with that, I'm going to pull up Anne's bio. I'm not going to read the whole bio. It's really impressive and very detailed. And if you want to read it, it's on our website for this meeting. You really should read it. But in essence, Anne Carden is considered top strategic business growth and marketing consultant coach. She's a 3 times author and #1 international bestselling author, a speaker and podcast host. And she's been named as one of the top 150 business consultant coaches by Six Figure Coaches magazine. So I think she's going to have some good things to tell us. She's got many, more than 41 years of business, marketing, and sales experience, many years in corporate business management and sales, and has been building her own business for the last 30 years. She's built several highly successful companies and sold them, many of them. She's been a business growth and marketing and sales consultant coach for many years. She's been in the media. I'm going to stop reading her bio because I really want to get to hear what she has to say. So if you want more details.
I think you read most of it. So hi,
Yeah.
everyone. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here.
Take it away, Anne.
Awesome. Well, I want you to know, I want this to be really interactive. So I have my list of things that I'll talk about, but I also would love to give you all an opportunity to ask me specific questions at the very end. I love interaction, and that's why I didn't do a PowerPoint. I'm just going to kind of talk and make this very organic, if that's okay with all of you.
And let me just say that if people have questions that you want done, just put them in the chat, because I'm monitoring the chat while we're talking, and we'll get to the questions in the chat. Okay. Thank you. Anne.
And then don't let me forget too, at the very end, I have a little giveaway for everyone.
Absolutely.
27 ways to build your audience, raise your influence, and be seen as the expert.
Great.
So yeah, I don't want to forget to give that away. And then I'll put the link for that in the chat for everybody.
Wonderful.
So, okay,
Wonderful.
perfect. Well, one of the things that is so hot and trending, and it's even more important now with the pandemic, as some of you have maybe already discovered, is what we call influence marketing. And I'm not, and I look at influence marketing really as also attraction marketing. So one of the things that people think is influence marketing takes, millions and millions of followers. That's influencer marketing. So it's a little bit different. Influence marketing, though, is you can be really kind of a micro influencer in your circle, in your sphere, in front of your ideal clients. And so that's really more what I want to talk about. I'm not here to help you get millions and millions of followers. This is really a strategy that anyone can use, even if they're starting from nothing. They can use this strategy to be seen, to get heard, to get more clients, to build their income, to get more exposure, get more speaking engagements, whatever it is you are trying to do in your business. So that's really the breakdown that I'm going to start with. One of the things that I see, though, is people are always doing tactics. I see everybody thinks marketing is all about, okay, I need to do a lot of lives. I need to be on Facebook. I need to be on Instagram. I need to be on LinkedIn. And tactics are not effective if you don't have the right fundamentals in place. So what I'm going to first talk about are the fundamental, really the foundation to making your marketing work. If you want your marketing to work, if you want it to accomplish what you are out there trying to do, then you've got to have the fundamental pieces in place first, or you will spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, and still not get the results that you're looking for. But I can also share with you some shortcuts as well. So I want you to think about strategy versus tactics. Tactics come after the strategy is already mapped out. And so you always want to start your marketing with a strategy. So if you want to get seen, if you want to get heard, it doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish. You have to have a great strategy behind it. So my question is, what would be your end game? So if you were going to go market your business, what is your end game that you're trying to accomplish? You have to start your strategy with this. You have to know what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to get speaking engagements, for example, that would be your end game. And then you can put the tactics in place to make sure that that happens. But the strategy is the secret sauce, and a lot of people don't really understand this. So you always want to start with the end in mind, and then you want to reverse engineer. And everything that you're trying to do will require a different strategy. And this is also where people get confused. So let's say, for example, you're trying to build an email list. That would be one strategy. You're trying to get on a podcast as a guest. That would require another strategy. You're trying to get people to book a call with you. That would be another strategy. And so it's really important that you really determine what is the end goal that you're trying to accomplish when you do something. So start with that, reverse engineer. Now, the other pieces of the fundamentals, and some of this, I apologize if some of you have been marketing for a long time, or you know some of this, some of it is not going to be new. There's nothing new under the sun. But hopefully I'll still give you some value that maybe you didn't know or you can still implement that's different. But a great strategy starts with, first of all, what do you want to be known for? If you are going to do influence marketing, you have got to establish yourself in the marketplace as an expert, as an authority for that particular thing. One of the mistakes I should say that coaches make is, or even entrepreneurs, is a lot of times they will position themselves in the market. I'll talk more about positioning, but they kind of look like a jack of all trades. So nothing goes together. So they might say, I'm a life coach, and then maybe they do an MLM product, and then maybe, they do something else. And so all of those things really confuse people, especially in the digital world. It's much easier if you're going out to network with someone and you're having a conversation with them and they say, what do you do? And you can turn that conversation and kind of tweak that conversation to make it relevant to the person that you're talking to. But online, you don't have that opportunity. Online, people are going to see you or be attracted to you or buy based on really the written word and what they see. And so if they're confused, they'll just overlook you. They won't see you. And so it's really important that one of the very first things you think about is, what do I want to be known for? What is the expertise I want people to see me for? And then that needs to become your digital footprint. And it needs to become your digital footprint across all platforms. The idea is, if somebody Googles you, if you want to influence the market, you want to establish yourself as an expert, as an authority in your space and be seen as the best. If someone Googles you, what would come up? Would anything come up? Or would they be confused? Another really good thing you can do, I love what I call the 10-second test. You all can do this with each other, actually. Go out and look at the different profiles that you have on platforms and tell somebody in 10 seconds what you think they do based on what you see. So you have to realize that you have an outside perception and you have an inside reality. And so your marketing is the outside perception. We call this your positioning in the market. This is where people see you for the first time. What do you want them to see? What do you want them to know about you? And you have to realize that you have 3 to 10 seconds to grab someone's attention, pull them in and say, I think this person might be somebody that I might be looking for or interested in what they're saying or what they're doing. And so you have the 3 to 10 second rule. If you can't do that in 3 to 10 seconds, or if someone can't look at your profiles or your digital footprint that fast, you will already lose people. You'll lose business, you'll lose opportunities. So the first thing is, what do you want to be known for? And then you want to get positioned in the marketplace for that thing. Now, again, you can, it's very difficult to position yourself two different ways. I will just tell you, I have two sides of my business, and it is really, really difficult to do that online. So one side of my business is more offline, and then working with coaches, consultants, professional service providers is online. So you want to just pick your lane, because it's very difficult to offer multiple things. I want you to think about it this way. If you had to have brain surgery, you would go look for a specialist, a brain surgeon. You would not look for you wouldn't go to your family physician, right? The jack of all trades, the one that helps mom and helps dad and grandpa and grandma and the kids, and they kind of do it all. You would look for the best. You would look for the expert, the authority, the specialist. And that's the way you need to be positioned online if you want to influence the market for what it is you do. So that is one of the foundations and fundamental pieces to really start building a strong foundation for your marketing. So when people see you for the first time, what's the outside perception? It should show who you work with. It should show what you do. And it should really show how you help them. So what solution are you providing to your ideal clients? It should also show why you're better, why you're the authority, why you're the expert. And it should show how you're different. That's a lot of things that need to go into your positioning, but that is the foundation of positioning. Am I going too fast, or are we good? Okay, perfect. All right. So what do you want to be known for? You also have to know, who do you want to reach? Who are you trying to reach? And then where are they? You have to know which platforms they are going to be on. And what is it you need to be doing on those platforms to reach them? One thing that a lot of people don't realize is different people buy different ways. So I help people get very ultra premium clients. If they want to work with really high-end clients, that's one of the things that I help people do. And the one thing that I tell coaches is, your ultra premium clients do not go through funnels. You all know what funnels are, right? You've heard funnels, and okay. Your ultra premium, no.
Actually,
Okay.
and let me interrupt you. I'm not sure everybody does know what a funnel is. So if you could just briefly describe it. Thank you.
Yes. So really, when you think about it, everything is a funnel, but there are more complicated funnels and there are simpler funnels. One way of a funnel would be, let's say you go out and you speak to the audience, go speak to an audience, and you say, hey, I'm going to give something away, and you can go and get this if you want it, and they'll give you their email. It puts them on your email list, and then you can email with them, you can communicate with them, you can invite them into, if you have a group or a community, and then it ultimately brings people into your ecosystem. And it really, it gives you the opportunity to nurture them and build that know, like, and trust with them. And hopefully the hope is that eventually they'll become buyers. Some will, some won't, but you want to bring people into your ecosystem. So that's a funnel. But a funnel could also be as simple as doing something like this. And if you would like to book a call with me, here's my link to go book a call. We get on a call. That's still a funnel. So everything is a funnel. But the one thing that people don't realize is, a lot of times they'll sell something or give something away that's very low ticket. They'll have people give up their email and all of that kind of thing. But what I was saying is that ultra premium clients don't go through funnels. They will come across you. They'll see what you do. They're interested. They'll book a call. That's the way they do business. Now, they'll go check you out behind your back, which is why that positioning needs to be really strong. Why, they'll Google you. They'll look at everything you have out there. And so that's why everything that I'm talking about needs to be really, really strong and in place. But ultimately, they won't. A lot of times they're not going to look at, many, many videos. They're not going to go through your whole funnel type of thing. So the reason I bring that up is because if you don't understand what marketing strategy is going to work best for the people that you're trying to attract or what you're trying to accomplish, you'll miss out. You'll miss out on opportunity. You'll miss out on clients and income and all of those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically a funnel is a system or a process that people, or a series of steps to get clients to come to you and engage with you.
That's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank
Let me
you.
just ask if everybody wouldn't mind muting yourselves because we're getting a little interference, and unmute when you want to speak, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Go ahead, Ann. This is great.
Okay, so you want to know who they are, who you're trying to reach, and where they are, and then what is going to be the best way to reach them. And there are lots of different ways to reach people, but also know what their hobbies are. You can a lot of times reach them through hobbies. You can reach them through charities. You can reach them through organizations. So it's important to really know your ideal customer, your ideal client inside and out. Really know what drives them, what their interests are. All of these things will help make your marketing a lot more effective. So the who, the what, what are you trying to do? Where are they? And how can you reach them? Those are the fundamental pieces. So once you know those things, now you, like I said, you want to get positioned in the market as the expert, as the authority. And the idea for that is if they go and Google you, like I said, or if they come across you, your message should resonate with them. What they see from you should establish you as the expert and the authority. So there are a lot of ways to do this. You can write a book, for example. I help people get books done. You can do a book that actually talks about your exact process and what you do with your clients and establishes you as the authority in that space. A book is a huge credibility builder, and it's a really fast way. So you could put a little asterisk by this. It is a fast track. It's a fast track way to. Apologies. I couldn't hear what. Sorry, my watch was going off. It is a fast track way to also get more opportunities, get speaking, all of those things, but also establish yourself with more credibility. When you see that someone's written a book, do you instantly think, oh, wow, there's somebody that knows what they're doing? Typically, we respond that way when we see someone that is an author or has written a book. So you want
everybody,
to
please note Ann has 3 books on her table behind her. So she's got triple credibility.
I do through back there. The last one that I just wrote, let's see if I have a copy, Expert in You. This is Build a Lucrative and Impactful Coaching and Consulting Business. I actually wrote this when I started working more with coaches. I've always worked with coaches for 11 years that I've been coaching, but I never really worked specifically with them or really targeted them. And when I came online, I started working more in that space. And I wrote the book because I was very frustrated with a lot of the things that I was seeing out there in the online world they were trying to help coaches. And I went down a lot of those rabbit holes and paths and things like that. So I wrote the book for that reason, but it also has really helped me get speaking engagements. It's helped me really establish myself in the industry. It's helped me influence the market a lot more. So I'm really a believer that it's not just about a book, but it's about a book with how you're trying to establish your position in the market. So that's a really important key as well. Yes, a book is credibility, but I've got 3 and I barely promote the other 2 because they're really around business and marketing for small businesses and for other businesses. So I think that's a really important factor to know too. So when you are trying to be seen as the expert, influence the market, everything you're doing should back up the thing that you're saying you do, that you're an expert at. The other things you want to do is you want to show up as a leader. So one of the things that people do is they're very sporadic in the way they show up online. And pick your platform where your ideal clients are and be extremely consistent and very active and really a go-getter. You have to create what's called marketing momentum if you're really going to be seen, because if you're doing things in a very sporadic manner, it doesn't really build that momentum and the algorithms won't pick you up. And there's just so many online little details that you need to know that's sort of behind the scenes. But, the algorithms love consistency. You'll get more reach, you'll get more traction. And so all of those things are also important things to understand when you're trying to build influence. It doesn't matter how many good things you have if you're not consistent. People will not see it. And you can't be the best kept secret. If you want to be sought after, then you have to consistently be putting yourself in front of your ideal clients out there online, and you have to be, you almost have to be aggressive with it. Your content also is a really, really important piece. Again, if someone checks you out, what are they going to see? Why would they believe you? Why do you look like the expert that you are? What makes you that person? So people want to see that you are a thought leader, that you're a leader in the space. I do a lot with speaking. I get on a lot of people's podcasts. I do a lot of my, posting and videos, and I am across all channels, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But you want to make sure that you are really showing up as a leader. I don't know, Phyllis, how you found me. Is she still on here? Yeah, there she is. I don't know how you found me, Phyllis. So you found me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and actually, I think that's an interesting story. I'm going to see if I can be really brief.
Go ahead.
But I'm on quite a lot of social media, but mostly Twitter, not so much LinkedIn. And because of that, almost every day I get 2 or more invitations to connect from people whose business is making coaches' business grow. And I actually had stopped accepting those connections because they would immediately start pitching me, and in ways that I usually found irrelevant or obnoxious. But I actually accepted Anne's invitation to connect, and we had like the briefest exchange, but in my mind, she just seemed like a thoughtful, more aware, sharp person. So when we were looking for speakers, I went back and started speaking to Anne about doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I didn't even really remember how I knew it was on LinkedIn, but I didn't remember. So there's proof that it works to actually get you engagements and get people coming to you. And that really is, I really never go out looking for speaking engagements and things like that, even offline and online. They really do come to me, and it really is a matter of just showing up and making a genuine connection with someone. And if you are positioned well and you look like, somebody that is an authority, or somebody that is, I guess the best way I could say it is when people connect with me after I request a connection, because I go out and try to get in front of my ideal clients, and they say, I'm so honored to connect with you. First of all, it's almost embarrassing to me. I'm going to be really transparent here. It never feels really good when someone says that, but on the other hand, it also shows me my marketing is working. So when they say, I'm so honored that you would connect, I think I'm the most down-to-earth person, and I'm humbled that, but that is good marketing. It truly is. And so thank you for sharing that. So that's a really important piece to know. And one of the things too is you'll get more connections when you are established in the marketplace as an authority, as an expert. You look like you know what you're doing. And you're genuine, and people can see that you're sincere. You will get a much higher connection rate than people who are not established in the market and are not positioned well. The other thing is you will get just opportunities coming right to your inbox. Hey, we're looking for someone to speak, or we would love to have you, on our podcast, or whatever that is. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why that is so important too, but it all comes down to showing up as a leader. So your content, getting a little off track here, but your content has to also, again, be very thoughtful. You do not want to copy and paste. I don't know what is going on with my watch today. You don't want to copy and paste a lot of other people's things unless you're going to put your own spin on it, your own ideas on it. Like you could say something like, I saw this This is my opinion. So you still want to show up as a thought leader. One of the mistakes that people make on social media is they're always posting memes, or they're always posting quotes, or they're putting out stuff that maybe gets a lot of engagement. If you post a quote, for example, I do very few. Once in a while, something will grab me and I'll think, oh, that's just a good one. But I always write content with it. So I never just post a quote and don't give my own feedback. And so that is another way that you can show up as a thought leader. So copy paste, sharing other people's stuff does not establish you as a thought leader or an expert. And so I really encourage you to do your own content. Let people see why you're so brilliant, why you're so amazing at what you do, and let that show in everything that you do. So if you are posting a quote or a meme or something, give your own thoughtful advice or opinion, or, interject something into that as well. And it will help, again, start establishing that leadership role. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a way to make your content work better. The other thing is you want your content to establish credibility. And the great thing about having social media, I built a lot of businesses offline before I ever came online. So I know how to build businesses both ways. But the great thing about online is we can speed the know, like, and trust. We know, and I know you've heard, people buy from people they know, like, and trust, right? You can speed relationships. You can speed the know, like, and trust, and you can speed credibility. Because if you give people a way to go and look at your content, things that establish you and show that you know what you're doing, that you're really good at what you do, all of that will build credibility. I always say your positioning, your marketing online, your digital footprint, your content should all pre-sell you before anyone ever books a call with you. If you do a really good job in your marketing, it will pre-sell you. It's very seldom, I can't think of, even if someone reaches out to me to speak, that they will say, oh yeah, go and apply, and we'll see if we want you. I don't get that. If they reach out to me, they're interested. And same thing when people book a call with me, they've already checked me out and they know they're almost sold. It's just a matter of, can we make the dollars work? And let's just kind of qualify one more step to see if this is going to be a good fit for us to work together. And so that's the other really powerful thing about positioning. One other thing that you want to do that can really, really help you fast forward if you're trying to get clients or opportunities online is to always be putting out social proof. And social proof comes in a lot of ways. I already did promote that I was speaking at this event today. I promoted it on Facebook. I promoted it on LinkedIn. I shared it on my own page. All of this establishes authority and credibility. The other thing that you want to do is and it's all social proof as well. The other thing is any testimonials, client testimonials. So you always want to get some sort of a client testimonial of the results that you are helping people get, or you want to get them to really, you could do it in video, you could do it in audio, you could do a case study if they don't want to give up their name and they don't want you really saying who they are. I do all. I have people that do videos, but extremely high level clients a lot of times will not disclose. You're in a non-disclosure with them. So a lot of times I will map out a case study. This is where this client was when they first came to me. This is exactly step by step what we did. This was the result. And so those are all pieces of social proof that can also build credibility. So if you're not doing that in your marketing, I highly, highly suggest that you start putting that into your marketing. And the one thing I hear a lot is people say, I don't like to toot my own horn. I don't like to promote myself. It isn't the most comfortable thing. I'm just going to tell you, I still don't like to do it, but I know it is a necessary evil. If you are going to market online, if you're not going to miss opportunities, if you're going to get more clients and build your business, it is one of those things that you have to do. Now, it's always great when other people are promoting you on their podcast, on a speaking engagement. Those things are great, but you can't leave your business to other people. You have to take your business and you have to take control of that yourself. And so you don't want to wait for other people to do all of that for you. That's kind of like icing on the cake. And so you want to make sure that you are promoting, and you don't have to do it in a cocky, arrogant way. You can be humble about it, but you can just say something like, I'm really honored to be speaking at the Greater Sarasota, Coaches Alliance today for their lunch. And this is what I'm talking about. So those are things that you can put into your content and into your positioning that can really, really help you. The other thing is, if you are networking offline or you are doing things offline, I always like you still want to step up as a leader. So don't be the person that sits back and is shy. That's not someone that people look at as a leader. So if you want to really build influence, you need to be seen and really looked at as the leader in the room. Even if you're not in the front of the room, you still need to be looked at as a leader in the room. And all of these things can really help you, again, fast forward your business and your opportunities. What questions do you have before I talk about one more piece?
Anybody questions? Just unmute yourself and dive in if you do.
And this is Gail.
Hi, Gail.
If you can just say a little bit more about the using the term social proof. So it sounds like you mean establishing credibility, to use an old term.
Yes, it is really the same. So social proof just means people can actually see online, on social media, they can really see that you've done certain things, that you've helped people, that you've really been able to get people great results. All of those things establish credibility, but they're all social proof as well.
Evidence, I guess.
Yeah. So it is just a different kind of a different term.
So it makes your presence visible to others.
Yes. And also it shows credibility that you do know what you're doing. I'm consistently posting client results consistently, because that is one of the fastest ways to grab attention, and people say, oh, wow, that's something I would really like to have. I just did a case study video last week about one of my coaches that I helped her. Her goal was $300,000, and in 5 months we blew past that, and she bought her dream home. And I did a whole case study. She didn't want her name obviously out there for that reason, but I broke it down and I talked about it in a video, and all of that is still social proof. That's still credibility. So any of those things you want to put out there as well. So I hope that answered your question.
Anyone else questions? Anyone?
Yes, I do.
Jane?
Yes.
I'm wondering, you mentioned video several times. Do you find that that's more effective? And is it more effective on some social media than others?
Oh, that's such a great question. I tell you what, Jane, can I come back to that?
Sure.
At the end, because then I can talk a little bit, because that's kind of there's a long answer to that. So
great.
And some other things that I can tie into that. So I'll come back to that question. So one other thing that I just want to talk about, and that is leverage. And I love a one-to-many approach. So anytime you can get in front of someone else's audience, anytime you can do a one-to-many approach where maybe you're speaking or you're a podcast guest, or you're building your own community where now you are the authority and the leader, and you're really marketing and sharing value and all of that to a community, a one-to-many approach, but leveraging other people's audiences is a really fast track to influence. So those are some things that you want to look for: speaking opportunities, podcast opportunities, summits, a lot of online things, getting into other people's communities and talking to their communities. So we call this OPA, other people's audiences for short. And anytime you can leverage that, it is a really, really huge piece of your business that can build your list faster, can get you clients. A good example of this is I was in someone's Facebook community last week, and I was doing a PowerPoint, and I have 2 calls booked just from that one presentation. And there weren't even a lot of people on. So all of those things can really also fast track influence and can help you build. So look for those opportunities, look for partnerships, look for people who serve the same audience as you, but they don't do the same thing. So they're not a competitor of yours, but they complement your business. That's a really important thing. The other thing is you can also build great partnerships and great alliances, and a lot of times even add products to your business. You heard me mention at the very beginning, I said, I help people get a book written. I help people get featured in the media. I help them get some digital assets in place, but I have a partnership with that. I don't physically do that with them. I have a partner who does that. And it is a whole nother income stream for me, but it's passive income because I don't really have to do anything for that. I'm just partnered with a rock star who does that for my clients. And I try to build out my suite of goods with things that I know my clients are going to need. So what are the things they're going to need? Oh, they're going to need LinkedIn marketing. So that's one thing I'm partnered on. They're going to need a website or digital assets. I have a partnership for that. They're going to probably want a book or get featured in the media. I have a partnership for that. If they might want to start a podcast, I have someone who could do their back end podcast stuff. So I'm telling you this because these are all strategies that you can also use in your business to add new income streams, but they're not a disconnect from what you're doing. When you think about a suite of goods with what is going to be a natural fit that your clients would be looking for, you can find those partnerships and you can build. And I know this isn't about that, but a lot of people don't think outside the box like this. And it's a really powerful way to also fast track your success. And now you get to leverage their audience as well, and they'll promote you. And it's just a win-win all the way around. So that was the last
interrupt you
point.
for a moment. Rita has raised her hand, so I think she has a question.
Yes, Rita. You're muted.
You have to unmute.
You're muted.
I don't know if I should ask it now or later.
Actually, that is really all I wanted to talk about. That was several. I mean, I could go on about this for hours and hours. I will not do that, but those were my main points that I wanted to bring up. So I am very open right now to answering any questions, and then I'll talk about the video question.
My thing doesn't fit into one thing. You're great, and it doesn't fit my problem. I had a thriving business, and let's say I had 75 schools that I worked with, but I did live performances.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've created this virtual thing, and I have done it gratis for one of my schools. I've done a real school. It's even with 3-year-olds. It's phenomenal. It's great. I got an email on Squarespace from somebody, oh, Miss Rita, are you back in the schools or is COVID, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, but I have this great virtual show and I have a website and I'm showing her the picture and I look fabulous. And she writes me back, oh, I'm so sorry you're not performing anymore. But you know, thank goodness for technology. In other words, I have a different product. I have the market. I have a list of schools that I can call. Mm-hmm. My concern is they're saying, I don't want to see you on a screen. You know, you were live in the schools. So what I'm asking you, is there a coach out there who can help me convince people? I mean, I have this school that's giving me great testimonials, and you know, I did 3-year-olds on Thursday and they were like, they loved it. But how do you convince someone that I've been doing for 35 years, and now everyone's on this, you know, like, oh, on the screen. I don't want to see her on the screen, but it's great. The show's great, and I don't know how to do that.
So are you teaching people? Are you?
No, it's a show. I am a performer.
You're a performer. Okay.
I was a live performer in the schools, and I had the same schools over and over. I had a huge following, and then I quit just before COVID, and I left on a very high note. Oh no, Miss Rita, yeah, we love you. Yeah, that's how I left. So for me to crawl back is tough. Okay. And two, that I have something that it's like, unless you see it, you can't comprehend. I mean, it's great. The show's great, but I have to convince, and I know these people. So you're saying cold calls or Facebook. I have the list. I have it in the other room. But when I call them up, I have to convince them that show is as good as the one I did live. And as I
Right,
told
so
you,
the
this
basic
person,
question.
this
Right, so the basic
Squarespace
question-
said, "Oh, sorry, you're not performing anymore." I just told her that I was. I had my professional photographer took the shots and the pictures. I sent it to her, and she says, "Sorry, you're not performing anymore." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" So that's why I'm here today, because I have the market. I have to tell them I'm doing something different and convince them. So,
Got it. So Anne, how would she reposition herself to go from in-person performances to letting people know that her virtual presentation is very enticing and exciting?
yes. Thank you, Leslie, for understanding what I was saying.
What would she need to think about? What pieces should she be thinking about?
I mean, I don't want to
Yeah.
take up the group's time,
No,
so I
that's
just
okay.
wanted to put that out there. But so if you either wanted to call me separately or you want to address it here.
No, Anne will
either-
answer it now. Anne will answer it
Yeah,
now.
I mean, Rita, a couple things that you'll have to think about. First of all, marketing is marketing is marketing. So whatever you're trying to accomplish online, you still have to do the same things. You still have to do all of the things that I've talked about if you're trying to accomplish things online. There are people out there who would value your performances online and would love that. One thing I would recommend is really thinking about who can you potentially partner with to let them promote you. So that would be one of the fastest paths for you. If you've got all of this credibility and all of these schools and everyone that you've performed with, can you partner with them? Can they promote you to their audiences and let other people do a lot of the promoting? Think about partnerships in that way. It will be your fastest path. The other thing, and you're probably not going to like me saying this, but sometimes you have to pivot to a degree. So one of the things that I helped a lot of people do during the pandemic is they were struggling because they had a very similar situation like yours. Everything they did was offline. And so then they had to try to bring it online. The marketing strategy that I'm talking about is the same. If you're going to be online, these are the things you're still going to have to do. You have to show people how wonderful you are. You can give them a taste of it. You have to still get people into your ecosystem, get them following you, build your audience, position yourself in the marketplace. You still have to do all of these fundamental things that I've talked about. But the other thing to think about is you've probably also got so many other things that you could be offering people. How about tips? How about teaching what you know versus doing what you know? You don't want to do that. Okay.
And we have a couple of, I think, helpful comments in the chat. Gail says, Rita, do you have a video of your virtual performance and program? And Deb says, record the show and use a clip as a marketing tool.
Yes.
And that makes sense to me. If you show someone how exciting it is, like if the 3-year-olds loved it, if you had a clip of that and maybe their reactions to show, even a 1-minute clip to show how lively it is, that would sell you really well.
It was last week and I didn't do it.
Okay,
But
you'll have
yeah,
another
but-
opportunity, but
The
do
still
something like that.
photos will not help people see, oh, this is what we could be watching.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to
Well,
see it moving.
you can do a mix, actually. Here's the thing. You still have to really get out there and put everything out there that you have and start building, start showing people how wonderful you are. And that does require photos, that requires video, that requires showing up, being consistent, again, leveraging other people's audiences if you could do that. It's not different. You're still trying to get people into your world. That's the same thing I'm doing. It's the same thing all of these ladies here are doing. It's not different because you still have to get people that to be interested in what you're doing.
I just want to say, I want to ask one
this.
question. I deal with schools, so my show is there were like 15 kids watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it with this school and I didn't charge them because I wanted to work at the Kinks. I
Mhm.
never gave anything away for free for 35 years because I don't believe in that. But do you think that rather than a video, to call someone up and say, well, I'm going to give you a free show?
No,
No, no.
that's me talking. No, you don't want to give it away free. You don't want to set the
No.
precedent. And you need to just have a video clip that sells you to want people to come to you. Yes, Ann?
Yes. And
Yes.
then let other people help you promote that too.
Okay, that's, I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks very much. And Mona has
Thank
her
you.
hand up.
And I'm going to answer Jane's question really quick.
Oh, yes.
The
please.
video question. So one
Uh-huh.
of the things, and I maybe just answered it a little bit, but Jane had asked about video. So a couple things to know about video. Different platforms are going to be different. So like if you're on Instagram, and by the way, Rita, you need to be on Instagram as well. And TikTok probably are going to be two really great platforms for you without knowing enough about what you're doing, but I would say those are probably two platforms that you need to get really good on. But reels on Instagram, for example, are getting a lot more reach than just regular videos and things like that. So one thing that you do need to know is when you're on a particular platform, you need to get to know that platform really well. And you need to obviously make sure your audience is there. My audience isn't really on Instagram that much, so I'm not there a lot. LinkedIn and Facebook are my two primary platforms. So know where your audience is, where they hang out, what they're looking for. But in regards to video, live is always going to get you more reach than just uploading a video. But you need both. Everything can't be live. You're going to want content that you have, because you're going to repurpose. So I'm a big believer in repurposing. You can't be super active on lots of platforms, but what you can do is pick one or two that are your main platforms, and then everything else gets repurposed. So still have a YouTube channel, still have Instagram, I'm not on TikTok yet, but pick 4 or 5 channels. The idea is you want to look like you're everywhere. Now, I will say that everyone should be on LinkedIn and everyone should be on Facebook because both of those come up in Google when you're searched. So get those platforms. They're free digital assets. You don't have to pay for those. But when people Google search you, your name, LinkedIn and Facebook will both come up. So why not take advantage of that? And make sure you're positioned well on those platforms and you really have them dialed in so that people are seeing what you want them to see. But those are two things that I for sure would do. But in regards to what you were saying, Jane, video is absolutely one of the most powerful ways to get attention. But it used to be long video, and now we're finding that sound bites or clips are more popular. And people, because we are in, the attention span is now less than a goldfish, which is 8 seconds. So you have to think about that in your marketing. And so if you are putting out videos, if you want to always, number one, grab attention. This could be a whole nother training, but grab attention with that video. So you don't want to get on a video and say, hi, my name is Ann Carden. I'm a business consultant. I've done this, this, and this. Like nobody's ever going to watch that. And so you want to make sure you would grab their attention right out of the gate. So if you're doing a video clip, you want to put the most important pieces in a video clip. Now, I always recommend take a video that you've already done, have it cut up into 5 or 6 or 10 pieces and just repurpose that content. That can give you all of those little clips. There's a lot of hacks and things that you can do. So you're not out there always feeling like all you're doing is creating content. You can repurpose. You can also send that. There is an app called rev.com or a site called rev.com. There are other ones out there too. And you can send videos to them and have them transcribed into text. And then you can edit that text and you can do, quote clips. You can do articles. You can do it as a blog post. Everything that I do, I repurpose across channels. It goes on my website, it gets repurposed on different platforms. So, save your time, leverage your time, but you need all of it, Jane. So video is powerful, but some people just want to read. For example, somebody that's really busy they'll love a case study in writing more than they will a video because they're busy. They can scan it. They can read it. Sorry, I'm having very quickly. I'm going to have to take my watch off. They can read it very quickly versus sitting there watching a video. So think about what's the fastest way people can consume your content. That's what is going to be powerful. But you do need video, and just know too that live video will always get you more reach than just uploaded video, but you need both. Does that help?
If I can just add in here, if this feels overwhelming to people, like I can't do all this and how do I get it edited and all that, there are virtual assistants. There are people you can get. You don't necessarily have to spend an arm and a leg. If you get somebody good, you can farm out a lot of this to people and manage them to get it done for you. So it's less overwhelming than you think.
Yes,
Can I just
absolutely.
ask, when you said live video works better than uploaded, I'm not sure what you mean because everything's uploaded. So I'm kind of.
No, like if you go on Facebook and you do Facebook Live, or you go on Instagram and you can do live on Instagram. You can do live on LinkedIn. You have to get approved on LinkedIn, but now you can do lives on LinkedIn. You do have to have a third-party software to do that, like StreamYard.
Okay.
But yes, so that's what I mean by live. When you are being shown live, they will notify a lot of your audience. And so it gets a lot more reach.
I have a couple of questions, Ann.
Wait, excuse me. If we come back to you, Mona was waiting, and then we'll come back to you, Gil.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you. My field is dance, and of course, dance is in person. And there was a real shift to go online, and I went online and such. But now dancers are back, studios are open, and so the online is kind of in the background a little bit because dancers really want the in-person. So I'm wanting to now go in person to do some workshops in the local area. And so I'm wondering, what's the best way, just to call somebody up, make an appointment and go in and talk, because they don't really know what I do or who I am. That just because I'm offering something that's very new. So do you have any recommendation? I'm a former dancer. I have all that in the background, but I have other things that I'm offering for them.
Yeah, so I think that's a great question. So it's no different than getting clients. It doesn't matter if you're going to try to get in front of a business or a corporation. It's no different. The same things apply. Get positioned well online, show your stuff, let people see, because people will check you out. And this is the really important piece of positioning. Even if you are reaching out to them, they will go and check you out. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of great things out there for them to see. So have videos, set up your page, set up your profile on Facebook. And then you could even reach right out to those dance studios and try to ask them for an appointment. You could certainly call them if it's local. Sometimes it's easier just to walk in. If it's not local, that's a whole nother thing. So it's really not any different, but what are they going to want to see? They're not going to want you to tell them how great you are. They're going to want to see what you can actually do. And so that's where having a great YouTube video that they can go and watch, anything that you can direct them to that they can go and see. And this works for any business on the planet, any business, not just coaches, but people, the digital age, if you're really not using digital assets, you're missing opportunity, because again, it can speed the know, like, and trust. It can grab people's attention. We've never had this opportunity before. So to not utilize it, it can still be in the background, but now you've got people you could send people to your page to look at your things and look at it, all that you've accomplished. If you've got awards, get those posted. Anything and everything that you've done in your career, get that posted. That all builds credibility. The other thing you could do is build a great website that houses a lot of your stuff on it that you could send people to check you out. But again, you want video, you want things they can look at and things that they can see. It will be easier for you to get your foot in the door that way than if you don't do those things, because that's what people will do these days. They'll just check you out. Even speaking, I do public speaking, and one of the first things we tell people is get positioned well online. Because if you don't, it used to be you could send them a website or you could send them a couple of things. Now they just go Google you. They're going to Google you and see, oh, is this person somebody that we think we might want? What do they really have out there? What have they really done or accomplished? So it's a huge piece. Does that help?
Oh, yep, does. Thank you.
I think
Perfect.
before we go to Gail, I think what I'm hearing you say, Anne, is that if your work and your business is something that somebody experiences, you want to give people an experience online to see what you do. Yes?
It's a fast track to
Yeah.
okay. So I always say merge the offline world with the online world.
Mhm.
Even when I go out and speak to people that I know really don't do much online, which is a lot of small businesses, the one thing I will tell them, look, you're out there doing all the hard work, you're networking, you're doing all the stuff, you're grabbing their business cards, but then what are you doing with those? Are you bringing them back into the online world and connecting with those people on LinkedIn, connecting with those people on Facebook, building your own community? When you do that, getting them on your email list, when you do that, you will speed the relationship. You will, because now you can actually just reach right out to them in inbox and say, it was so great meeting you today. What we used to do a lot with email can now be done on social media. And once you get them following you on social media, it makes everything so much faster. It's just a faster way to build relationships. We've never had these opportunities. You used to have to go out and set up a one-to-one with somebody, and then, you had to meet with them. And now you can communicate with them really kind of indirectly, even by letting them see your post and see your feed and having them in your ecosystem. All of those things just speed the relationship building. When I've gone to speak, I've had people say, I feel like I know you because I've been following you for so long, on Facebook or on LinkedIn. That means your marketing is doing the work. It just instantly, those walls are broken down and you feel like you have a friend. I've built great relationships online that I know if I just went out and saw them in public, it would be hugs, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just a huge reason to use social media.
Wonderful.
It's
you.
a necessity as well. So you have to know that.
For sure. I'm excited that we're going this long with such wonderful content. So let's go to Gail. We'll see if we have any other questions. And before we wrap up, I want to remind you, Anne, to tell us about your giveaway and tell us how to contact you if we want to book a call. So we'll get to that.
Okay.
And I know Julie Erickson came in late, so I'm going to ask you to just briefly introduce yourself at the end of the meeting. So Gail, let's go to your question.
And just a couple follow-ups. When you said short sound bites are more the thing with video, what approximate time length would you recommend? Like, are we talking less than 5 minutes or even 1 minute?
I mean, here's the thing. People will watch something if it's really powerful and it's really good and you're in front of your ideal clients. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this. I do things as short as 30 seconds now, one thing to know is that LinkedIn will only allow you to upload a video that's 10 minutes or under, unless you're sharing a link, which they'll never show. So don't share links. But so you have to also know the platform you're on, but it depends on your strategy, Gail, because I have a 4-step strategy to video marketing that we're doing 30 seconds to 1 minute clips. And then we're retargeting people and we're just giving value. And then we retarget people and then we actually make an offer. So you have to, again, it goes back to all of these things that we're talking about are tactics, and you've got to have a great strategy behind them. But if the content is good, if it's powerful, people will watch a 1 to to 3-minute video. They'll even sit and watch an hour if it's something they're really interested in. That's why webinars work. But that being said, for marketing purposes, you're going to get more people watching something very quick.
And I think I learned, I'm not sure, I didn't research it, that you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers before YouTube will let you do a live.
You know what? I really don't know. No, that's not true. I do lives on YouTube and I don't have 1,000 subscribers. YouTube's not my main channel.
Yeah, I tried doing a live. I had to do it private. I had to make it private. It wouldn't let me do it public.
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you for sure but I do, when I do StreamYard, I do send it to YouTube.
Maybe StreamYard can override that.
You might have to do a third party. I will have to go look at that, but to my knowledge, no, I think I've always done lives on YouTube periodically.
Right.
It's not my consistent way
YouTube
of
had
marketing.
a minimum number of subscribers, but I don't remember what it was. I think way back it used to be 300.
Yeah,
I
LinkedIn
don't
you
know
need to
if-
apply to, I think
Yeah.
still. Is that right, Ann? You have to
Yes, but
apply.
I'm going to give you a little secret. It took me 2 years to get on LinkedIn Live. So I'm going to give you the shortcut here. Go and get on StreamYard first. So you want to get that third party first. And then through StreamYard, when you get it all set up, apply to LinkedIn through StreamYard. There's a button inside of StreamYard when you're trying to connect with LinkedIn. It will ask you like, what pages and platforms do you want to connect with?
Right, that's interesting.
Yeah, when you put in LinkedIn, it will say you're not approved for LinkedIn Live, and then it will say you can apply here, I think is what it is. Apply through StreamYard, not through LinkedIn. And the minute I did that, I got instantly approved. Somebody gave me that hack. So I'll share it with you. Hopefully it will work for you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
And I did want to share with everyone, I did a Facebook Live. I do not have a Facebook company page, but I have at least 500 people that I'm connected with on Facebook. And I did a very heartfelt, vulnerable post about progress I've made in my business doing things that I am teaching others. But it was about me and what it's done for me. And one of my former clients saw it and said, it's time to work with you again. And that was a very lucrative client. And it was not an intent of mine. It was sharing a story. It was all story. I don't think I even ended with, if you want me to help you. I just told a story very transparently about me and going through old voices, old beliefs, and how I'm overcoming them and what it means to me. And that drew in a client.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the other thing to think about too is using social media, even if you're doing things offline, like the group that you're in and all of that, using social media allows you to go worldwide. And we've never had that opportunity really before either to coach worldwide. So that's another reason in this industry to really think bigger, because you've got just so much more opportunity than just trying to. When I first started my coaching business, before I came online, I ran around to people's businesses and I met with them and I helped them grow their business. And, it was just a grind. Obviously, I did all the networking, I did speaking, I did all of those things. But when I came into the online world, it was such a game changer that I got to the point where if people wanted me to come into their business and they weren't willing to work with me online, I wouldn't even take them as a client, because I had an opportunity to have a lifestyle business where I could work from anywhere in the world. And I love to travel and all of that. So think about how you want your business to be too. And those are important pieces to build your business in a way, that you really want it to be, and a way that's going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. So if Julie wants to introduce herself really quick, and then I'm going to drop the link to my giveaway. Let me just tell you really quick what it is. So the one thing I will tell you, here's 27 ways to get seen, get heard, all the things, but these are tactics. All right. They're tactics. And I want to stress that, because without a great strategy, without the right message, without the right fundamentals, tactics really they're not effective. But if you have a great strategy in place, there's more than enough ways for you to market here. So yes, you can get this, and it's jam-packed with all kinds of ideas for you on how to build influence and really be seen. So I will put the link here, and just FYI, I'm always very transparent. It will put you on my email list when you go and opt in for that. But if I can help anyone with their strategy, let me know. That's one of the things I do with my clients. So it's just one
Is your
of the
contact
pieces.
information in the handout?
It is. It's on.
Right.
It is in this thing as well, where you can book a call with me if you want to. Yes. So.
Okay. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, hi, I'm Julie Erickson, and I am a career coach who helps people find and do work they absolutely love. And that's my tagline. And I'm here because of Phyllis. Phyllis and I met each other on Twitter eons ago, back in 2007, I think. And I saw your post on LinkedIn about this, and I thought, okay, if Phyllis is recommending this, then it must be good. So that was why, yeah, exactly. So she's an influence marketer there. And I am someone who is, I've been often on Twitter, obviously, but LinkedIn is a really big source for me of wisdom and clients. But most of my clients I get through referrals, honestly. But
What
I
kind of
use
clients do you work with?
I work with people really who want to do a job change. That's the primary, but I have worked with recent college graduates all the way toward people at the end of their careers who want to plan a retirement.
Okay.
I also work with a lot of people who've been fired from jobs, and actually co-wrote a book that was published this spring called Betrayed by Work: Women's Stories of Trauma, Healing, and Hope After Being Fired.
Mhm.
So pretty much an expert on how to help people get through that whole process.
All
and,
right. Thank you
and
very
land another
much.
job.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Rita, and then Phyllis.
I
And we're
just
gonna
want to
have
know,
wrap
like,
up.
are we going to get contact information? Because there's all these coaches out there in front of me. And I just wanted to know.
If you
like,
go to the Greater Sarasota Coaches website,
okay.
and go to members, you'll see a lot of our information there.
So it's just Greater Sarasota, what?
I think it's Greater Sarasota Coaches. I think.
Alliance, is it?
Is
Or
that the website, Phyllis? You're nodding yes? Yeah, greatersarasotacoaches.com, and go to members, and you'll see how to reach the members there.
Okay.
And that's one benefit of being a member. So you might want to consider being a member if you're not.
But I'm not a coach.
had
Can
a
you be a
question?
member if you're not a coach?
Oh, sure. As long as it's relevant. Coaching is a somewhat loose term, but if you're helping people and teaching and all of that, why not? Sure. And being around coaches. Someone else had a question, I think.
Phyllis is on mute and keeps trying to
Yeah,
talk.
Phyllis.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually address that. Like Nina teaches at USF, and she's a member. It's people who are interested in the kinds of things that coaches are interested in. But all of you who are new, I want to suggest that you go to the Greater Sarasota Coaches Alliance website and sign on to our mailing list to hear about upcoming programs.
Yes.
And actually, I didn't bring the list with me, maybe, but we have some very exciting things coming up. And I know we're going to keep talking, but I really just wanted to thank Anne and say I was so impressed with your presentation today. And I do myself help other coaches, and primarily with the strategy, not so much the tactics, just figuring out who their audience is. But I learned a lot, and even what I knew about thoroughly, I loved how you conceptualized it. It was so clear.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that feedback.
And someone said that she went to get your free handout, and she got a warning from her computer security system with the Lincoln website. So she wonders if you can just post your email in the chat directly.
Okay, that's strange because it's an HTTPS number.
Who knows?
I mean, domain.
I know Firefox has been fussy lately with sites that I know are perfectly safe that I've been to before. So who knows? But if you would put your email in the directly in the address, that's in the chat, that's the way we
Yes.
get to you. Thank you.
Let me do
It
that.
could be her operating system.
Warning. So I'm not sure why that happened.
Was that
Can
just
I-
one
can I just-
person? Did
Just
anybody
one
else?
person. Yes.
Can I just say something about that? It could be her operating system. I have two computers, and on one computer, I was getting that message regarding two websites. And it said that I had an OS 10 and it needed OS 11. And then on the other computer, I could get in. Just
Oh,
make
okay.
sure it's your operating system on your
Well,
computer.
anyway,
and
if
not-
you don't mind giving us your email address, that would be great in the chat.
I just put it in there. So yes, if you have any trouble at all getting
see
that,
it.
yes.
I don't see your email address. Maybe I have to scroll down. No,
Reach
I
out
don't
to
see it.
Mhm.
Okay. Any
And
other
what-
questions before we wrap up for the
Just,
day?
For just another note for everyone, Leslie's been taking very good notes. So if you want a reminder outline of this, if you go into chat and look on the bottom, there's 3 dots.
Yep.
And if you press that, that will save the chat for you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I did just do it to everyone. I didn't do it to everyone. So, okay, let me put this in again. It's not letting
And
me
in
do
the
it.
recording, the chat is also
There we
recorded.
go.
So
Yeah.
if you want to review the recording, you'll also get the chat as well.
So
Okay, there we go.
I just want to say, great, thank you. So I just want to say that Mona, Phyllis, and I have been the committee booking everybody. And Phyllis has come up with a really wonderful lineup for the next few months. So you really do want to get on our email list. We've got some great things coming up. And as I say, we're having a wonderful party in December for members only. So that's another enticement to join. And we're, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, get on the email list. Think about becoming a member. And this was really wonderful. And I really appreciate your expertise and your engaging way of delivering your information. And I
Thank
think
you.
we got a lot out of it. So I really want to thank you very much.
Good. And let's connect. I would love to connect with you. So, yeah.
Yes, and we always meet the third Monday of every month now at 1 p.m. So you can always check out the website, join the mailing list, and join us. Also, I remember what I was going to say. I have been doing a lot of the facilitating for the last year and a half to help keep us going. I am happy facilitating, but I'm concerned it's starting to look like the Leslie Show. So I would really like to invite anybody who would like to facilitate a meeting. Just shoot me an email, leslieaustin@mindspring.com, or go to the members, my email's there. And just if you'd like to facilitate, I would love to. I'll work with you to get you comfortable, and maybe other people can facilitate as well. All right, we used to have rotating facilitators, and I think it's more fun.
I think you're great, by the way. I think you do a great job. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed
And you
doing
did,
it,
Anne,
so.
too. But Leslie, I really, really like your approach very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much again.
Thank you.
All the best, everybody. See you next
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a wonderful day.
week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.